Okay, this is the Orderflows Market Review for April 28, 2016. This is part 2. I did one earlier today, and this is the follow-up. My name is Michael Valtos. I'm the founder of Orderflows.com. First, a brief disclaimer. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Alright, so if you remember from my earlier, if you watched my earlier presentation about the Bank of Japan announcement, you will notice that we had this big sell-off during the Asian session, another round of selling during the European session, or rally in early US, and then again a big sell-off late in the session. It was quite an interesting day. You're talking a range of 94 to 66, nearly a 28-point range. I got a point out of it, but you know, I had a webinar yesterday, so I really wasn't able to trade. But what I'm going to talk about is there was a few other setups during the day with order flow that I think were important and, you know, could have easily been tradable. All right, so the first one I'm going to talk about is this high when we got up to 94. When we literally retraced this big move down back up to the high. I will talk about that. I thought that was very standoutish. Now there's a couple things here. This is that high, and at this high you got a couple things. I mean, I'll say it's not the high of the day. You're about a point off the high, a little bit less, and you've got a few things going. You got a big strong negative delta, 6,000. It's really the first. I won't say the first, but you know, it's one of the bigger deltas. Here you had a big negative delta minus 4,000 when we got up to 89. We did come off a little bit, but the buying resumed, and you get in up here, and you have a big strong negative delta minus 6,000. The next bar minus 2,700, next bar minus 1,700, minus the next bar minus 3,900. So it's telling you there's a lot of selling up here. You know, there's no reason to be getting long at this point. If anything, you should be looking to get short. However, there's a couple more tells. One, you had the Delta Scalper indicator kicking off right here, which is this zone. So, you know, it's telling you get short. You know, look to get short here. There's a lot of selling, and you know, even if you don't get short in the first bar or the second bar, you know, you could see it's giving you plenty of opportunity. You know, this is over an hour here that's trading, and we're not going any higher, and all you're seeing is just more and more selling. And you know, later the market sold off quite nicely from this high down to the 60s. And the other big tell is this big imbalance here, 2560. You know, that's a number that really sticks out. You know, I like numbers above 2500. This is just on the other side of 2500. And you know, what did the market do? It just fell over. All selling, all strong negative deltas, negative deltas, negative deltas, negative deltas. Literally straight down from the 90s down into the 70s. Take out the low. You know, then we came down, you know, around 2:30. We hit a low. You know, just before 2:30, you hit a low. You have a divergence, and then it comes and it tests the low again. Okay, and this time you have no ratio. You have no divergence. It starts to pop up. You're starting to see some signs of, you know, some buying interest. Right? You got a Delta Scalper kicking off. The market did rally up a little bit. You have a ratio. You know, so there were some signs of some possible buying in there, and you know, it just didn't really pull away. It did come in and make a new low just around the cash close before popping back up and closing for the day. So this next setup I want to talk about, it wasn't clear on a 10 range chart, and the reason it wasn't clear is because it's a 10 range chart. On a smaller time frame chart, it was a little bit more clear. It's at this low here at 65 1/4 down in here. Here on the 10 range chart, it's just giving you a normal low, a normal ratio, 2.153. However, on the 5 range chart, when you're breaking out the bars, you know, on a shorter time frame, you can see a lot clearer. You see a very strong ratio bounds low indicating some stopping volume. At first it wasn't really, it's not clear on the 10 range chart, but on the 5 range chart it's much more obvious. And again, it's the low of the day, 65.25. And what the market do? It just rallied right from that low straight up, going into the rest of the day, the rest of the morning, the close. Or sorry, rest of the morning, the rest of the afternoon. Let's see where it closed at in the 70s, mid 70s in here. So again, it's from that low at 65.25. It's almost a 10-point move. Today was a day with a lot of opportunities. I'll just quickly recap the trade that I took this morning in the room, and what it was on the 5 range chart. I had just about my 3 in a row, ratio of 68, 44, 27. I talk about these ratios not being lines in the sand, and they're not. You got to take into account the numbers. 27 is close to my number of 30, and I want to look at the numbers to see if they're, these are big enough numbers that I could take the trade, even though the ratio is not the exact level. I mean, it's fine. Again, it's a guideline. It's not a line set in the sand. So I took the trade. I got long at 80, and the market just started going up. We were coming into the cash open. And, I'm always hesitant to be in a position around the cash open because you can get some volatility. So I got out at a point, and, I was going to let the cash open work its way out. And when the cash opened, the market sold off. It sold off to the 77 level before turning around and then just going up for the rest of the morning before turning and selling off. So, those were, I think, the 3 standout trades of the day. I'm sure there were more. I had a webinar this afternoon with Online Trader Central, so hopefully you'll see you'll get a link for it, or you can go to my website and check it out. See if when I get the link, I'll try and post it up on my website, and if possible, my YouTube channel. Maybe I'll link to it. But I covered some of these setups that you see what happened today in the market. I teach you in the webinar how to find them. These are types of trades that happen every day. Today, like I said, today was a day that the market was really up, down, and on a big range. So, there's plenty of opportunity today to make something. If you came out today with nothing, I think you missed a great trading day. Okay, so thank you for watching this. So to learn more about trading with order flow and the software I used in this video, be sure to visit my site, www.orderflows.com.